So if I couldn't have made them songs, I would have wrote them anyway, because that's what I do. That's like oxygen in me. So I was writing the songs, and then opportunities to record the motherfuckers kept presenting themselves, you know? One of them was because he thought I was dope. He was a fan, and he just thought I was too dope to not be doing my thing. Motherfuckers helped me do what I needed to do. So, like, it was a fight against the government. They filed a son of Sam lawsuit, don't even beat that. It got struck down by the Supreme Court. They was big mad. There's no rule. There's no rule against possessing a cell phone in 1999 or 2000. There's no rule against me having literally the California Code of Regulations hasn't entered that rule into this book yet. So I'm reading the rules, and I could see what's not against the rules too. I'm not just looking at what is in the rule book. I'm looking at what isn't.
Right.
So, okay, if I get this DAT recorder in here, they don't got a rule against that. So if they find it sitting there, they can't write me up for nothing. They can't even fuck with me. It's just a slap on the wrist.
Yeah, that recording, all of it.
I had all kind of shit in that bitch. Hell yeah, regular.
Yeah. You just had studio recorders up in the cell, you just busting your shit.
Yeah, man. For a long time, I used to get shit, you know, buy some keyboards and get them in through the music program, put a bunch of shit that I wanted to, get a package delivered and had a motherfucker go bring it to the, you know what I mean? I used to meet a motherfucker in the middle of nowhere in the wilderness, drop off a package for me, you know?
That's some cold ass shit. I just picture a nigga in this cell was up there busting like a motherfucker. Hold up, homie, you watch for the guards to come and shit. Y'all quiet, there's noise down. I'm about to drop this 16.
Yeah, count time. Let's do it between count time and try to get songs done. I remember in 1998, I was doing my thing on Salinas Valley, AUR, and I got all my recording equipment on Friday. Like, I went to breakfast and go search the cell. When I come back, the cell search was a drop off. So I got the thing, you know what I mean? Boom, locked the door. Friday night, I'm all night between counts, just laying. They get all night, wake up, do it Saturday. As soon as go about my regular day on Saturday, as soon as they lock that bar at night, I'm recording all night between counts. Get some sleep, wake up, give it back to him on Sunday. Boom, I get back to the streets, and then it's up. You know, we go from there and end up crashing out. Like, so, in it from Friday to Sunday, recorded the entire Unforgiven album, the entire Vengeance Is Mine album, a portion of the Initiation album. In 3 days, I recorded all that, got it done and got it out, and went right outside and got in the wreck. The niggas just out there fighting like a motherfucker.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so like that was the kind of shit I went through. And then them songs ended up being on Unforgiven and hitting the Billboard charts. Some of the shit I gave Sebo. We number 3 on the charts behind Mariah Carey and Brian McKnight for Daily Game was my song. Actually, me and Cuz was rapping. He was in the tank. So I went in his tank and I'm banging on the door, spitting that song. He spit some songs. But when I spit Daily Game, he was like, nigga, you gotta give me that. So he started asking me for that in the county jail. Then we got to Tracy. I gave it to him, to everything, taught him every word, all even the grunts. So that was an X-rated song, Giving the Buck. And then that 357 was my song. So I wrote the chorus, I wrote verse 1, I wrote the second chorus, and I wrote half of verse 2, and they moved both to the dorms. His cousin had no time. He had a joint suspension. I had a 186.22 and a 187.8 and a 120.2 2.5. So I'm on my way to New Folsom. Cuz go to the dorm, and he finished the rhyme. So you could kind of hear what I was doing, and then when he shows up in the second half of the song, you could hear the collaboration. We ended up writing shit together that I used, Street Life. That was bold. Rewrote that chorus for me. I was saying it a certain kind of way. He was like, it's better like this, and I thought he was right. So that's the way I recorded it. So it wasn't like I just was writing for both. I gave him a lot more shit than he gave me just because I had more shit. But like in terms of what I was writing on and he put his input in, we would rewrite shit and he left with all of that, but he didn't record everything that I gave.
Yeah, both boy legend. C-boy legend for real. So you was in the hood, you was out there destroying and shit and wrecking shit. And now you bumped in the mic, said Singleton?
I bumped into said Singleton, so my mom went to church, and I had created this little company called 24D Productions because I got the benefit of watching the big homies like this nigga do their thing. So I had that blue tape. That blue tape mattered to me. And so I'm looking at this blue tape and I'm like, damn. So we started, me and the homie Person for Flat Dog, the music Flat Dog Crip Gang is like between the Glen Elders and Oak Park and sit right there. And so the homie came, he went to our continuation school and his mama used to buy him hella equipment. I didn't know that at the time. We just rapping at lunchtime and he was like, hey, you really good. He was like, man, lunchtime, pull it. Why don't you come to the house when we finish school, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, cool. So cuz had a van, we jumped in the van, we all rode to his spot, and this nigga got drum machines, records, the walls are just covered in crates, shelves and crates. This nigga got everything, every sample I needed to do anything forever. That nigga
had all that shit.
It looked like Alchemist little room in there. We was 16, 15 years old at the time. But that's how his mama loved him. She kept him out of trouble. Would let us be in there with that music blasting until 3, 4 in the morning, would never say a word. Because they cared more that they knew where we was than if it was loud. You know, that nigga had beautiful parents. And so we was doing that, get the songs done. So I'm putting these motherfuckers on consignment. And so my mama got my little cover. My cover was drawn by Brother Lynch. Because I had really just said my name is X-rated, blah, blah, blah. I didn't have a rap name yet. I was still Lil Slim Dog from 24th Street. Niggas still call me Lil Ray. That wasn't my official name, but I was always with the big homie, so they'd be like, Lil Slim Dog over there, you know what I mean? And I kind of was like busted a line that had X-rated in it. People started like X-rated just calling me X-rated. And Lynch was like, nigga, it can't be R-A-T-E-D, it got to be R-A-I-D-E-D, cuz it was like, if you ain't no player on no bass shit, you a gangster, nigga, this that gangster shit, R-A-I-D-E-D. So Lynch drew my first logo and drew my first cover. And so my mama had that on a keychain, went to church, and Cedric saw it. It was like, you know X-rated? And she was like, yeah, it's my son. And he gave her his card. And so I had the mama give me the card. I'm running around. I ain't paying no attention to it. Me and the homies, some shit happened in the South Side. So me and the homies about to go clap some shit up. We get pulled over. This is back when if you in the car and you joyride, you're a joyrider. The nigga that got the pistol got a gun charge, and the nigga that was driving the car got a GTA. And that's kind of how, because we didn't get to go do it yet. They got us on our way to do it. So I get the joyride, and I spend a weekend in the jail. And while I'm in the jail, I run into a homie named Meadowview Blood. He was leaning still. He wasn't really like all the way over there, but he was headed. I could see it going there. But his name is Miko Ewer. He from the South Side. He from 23rd, and I love that nigga. So this is how I meet. I have seen him 50 million times, but I'm in juvenile hall waiting for my mama to get me out on Monday. And this nigga is in juvenile hall because they said he filed the serial number down on his Cougar. This nigga got Cougars, Stangs, Malleys. This nigga, young nigga doing it. So seeing him in juvenile hall, I was like, fuck, this nigga doing the juvenile hall. I thought this nigga was 25, 30 years old. I didn't know this nigga was a kid. He was just a balling young nigga that had a vision and a mission. And so he was like, we was talking and I was spitting some rhyme and he was like, "Nigga, you were X-rated?" Because niggas didn't know it was me. It was because it was just a picture. It was a drawing. There was no picture of me. Like you said, we were seldom seen. There's very few pictures from me back then. 0 videos and no music videos until 2018 when I came on. So the first music video I ever do, 2.5 million views. You know what I mean? I had never even had a music video. And so, yeah, so I get out of the juvenile hall, he get out, we go about our way, and I finally call the nigga Meek, and I was like, hey, man, I want to talk to you about what you were saying. You know, you want to do some management for you, blah, blah, blah. So me and him link up, we roll around, and we pulled up on Cedric. I gave him the card, he had called him and shit, and we pulled up on Cedric, and them niggas agreed that Meek would fund everything, and that Cedric would handle his business. He had the brain power. So Meek was like our Harry O, and Cedric was like our Suge Knight, and it was kind of like that. So you had Danger Island Productions, was Meek thing, and then Black Market Records they built, that was Cedric's thing, and I had my little 24D Productions thing. That's where Lynch got the EP name from a couple years later. That was the name of my production company that I made up when I was 15 years old as a little rapper.
See, we only breaking stories up. Later. Y'all take notes.
And so, yeah, them niggas built. I was the first artist ever on Black Market Records. I say I'm the LL Cool J of Black Market Records. It was the first one they ever released music for. Sacramento had artists prior to me. My big homies, Triple Threat 3, Mike C, the BK, Bruce Knight. and the homie DC Ray. They had a group called Triple Threat 3, and they was more on that, you know, early, almost techno, hip-hop rap, that kind of, you know, the Mantronics type shit.
Definitely.
They was doing that.
That's what we was on.
Yeah, that's what hip-hop was.
That's what would, for us on the West Coast, it was techno out. That's what it was.
And it was fun. Niggas was having fun. And so they had that, and then a cat named Homicide from Oak Park came out, and Black Market had fucked with him a little bit on production, but they wasn't called Black Market. They had a different name. And so they were behind it.
That Homicide, they call me Mr. D. They song they call me Mr. D.
Yeah.
It's a crazy rip.
Yeah, it was. I was super motivated by Homicide, his presence, and seeing him. It made me feel like I could do it. You know what I mean? And so I started getting cracking. You know, I was influenced by y'all. I was influenced by people like Cypress Hill. I thought Ice Cube was like that nigga, bro. Prime Ice Cube. What I consider Lil Wayne to be that nigga from straight out of Compton and Easy Does It all the way to Death Certificate. It's like an argument that that's the dopest chunk of that top hip hop down there, everything on this gangster shit. You add in what these niggas is doing.
Yeah, that Death Certificate wasn't no joke.
Yep.
Nah, that was special, man. He was breaking, even Kill at Will, The Birth, The Product, Endangered Species, the remix Endangered Species, like that shit was special. And then, like I said, the Hood that took me under, and then the whale sample, nigga, with all of that shit, oh man, that's the goosebumps, nigga. So like, I'm big on the chronological order of hip hop history matters to me, because you could see his influence on people. You could see Cypress Hill influence, Cube's influence, and WA's, Dre's. You could go back far enough to see where this shit came from. And a lot of people wouldn't like that. They don't want to do that. They do that on the East Coast. They preserve their history. But on the West, we so busy tearing each other down that there's no preservation of our dopeness and our roadmap to show the tree that we grew from. Because I'm proud to come from that lineage of what the homies was doing. Well, I'm proud of that.
Part of that is because of what you said earlier. We don't get people that's really nice with their shit of position, man. It's always people from outside the culture.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. And I ain't no knock against no other race of people or nothing else, but it's like on R106, they ain't got one black DJ over there. I don't think it's one black show.
Yeah, and there was a time where that would have been considered unacceptable. All we got to do is listen to the track one on America Most Wanted to tell you what time it would have been. That nigga Q was on everybody's ass. Don Cornelius, nigga, that nigga was on the American Bandstand, nigga, anybody. If they was playing with the culture, diluting the culture, they would get called out on it. And that stopped happening because niggas started getting checks. Them checks, niggas sold the culture. Niggas the integrity of the culture was bad.
So when you was fucking with singing Black Market Records, how many records did you actually drop over there?
Shit. I did Niggas in Black first and then with Tantrum from the Flats, and then Lynch got involved. And then those recordings became Psychoactive, and then Exorcist happened, Billboard. Unforgiven happened, Billboard. My Nefarious Project happened, Billboard. The Seatbelt Till My Casket Drops, Billboard. Then that ain't counting 24 Deep, the Season of the Sickness and all that shit, because my Exorcist album was actually called Season of the Sickness. That was what I was going to call it. But nobody believed that I was going to be able to do it. So I'm working on what would become Season of the Sickness, and somewhere over there they decided that that's what Lynch's album should be called. But that was actually the name of my album that became Exorcist. So I chose the name Exorcist because they utilized Season of the Sickness for Lynch. And so I do Exorcist and all those different projects, and just kept it moving, man. I was obsessed and hitting Billboard and the culture paying attention. I didn't get the kind of stories written that I would have liked. They kept repeating that what the AP wrote, lazy reporting. But it was dope that they kept my name alive. And you got Lynch and Bo keeping my name alive.
You know, in sensationalism, like we said earlier, sales like a motherfucker. You know, this dude, man, the rap lyrics, he rapped about a murder. He could be, you know, they pushing that thing. Yeah. They don't care if it's true if it's true or false, as long as people react.
Yeah, they don't care, man. All they want is the outcomes that they want.
So Cedric made some bread over there with you.
Yeah, Cedric definitely made some bread. But I feel like everybody made some bread. Everybody made some bread. What we did with it, and how we got it and, you know, what our individual deals were, that's a different question. But everybody definitely generated money. Now, you know, I always, if I told Cedric to send me 10 bands, 20 bands, like tonight, I had that shit by Monday. I have it by Monday. Now, still. It was different for me with Cedric Singleton, and that's why there's no record of me saying nothing reckless about him. And I feel like that brother didn't know what the fuck he was doing. Meek didn't know what the fuck he was doing. I definitely know what the fuck I was doing. I just knew I was dope. I wanted to be dope. And I wanted to grow and get better as an MC. But like we was winging it. And so I don't look at that brother like he was being a predatory person on us and shit. I look like he made mistakes that cost him money too. He missed money as well. But like once you know better now, I'm going to need you to do better. And some people feel like that didn't happen fast enough. But in my case, you know, I was a juvenile when I got arrested. Cedric came up there, told him he was my father, and visited me because he was worried they was trying to get me the death penalty. So this nigga's telling him he's my father and was coming to see me and make sure that my spirit was good and that I had some money, I wasn't getting abused. You know, he would go back. I end up in the county jail. Cedric is there. I go to the prison. Cedric used to come in the visitor room, play chess with me 4 or 5 hours at a time. I was a 17-year-old baby. You know, the amount of empathy he had. He never let nobody during interviews. He never let nobody play with me. He always defended what I was doing. And so I happen to love this nigga. I love it. You know what I mean?
That's dope.
That's my pops. I call him Pops. He like my J Prince. And he kind of like a J Prince to Mozzie. It ain't my place to speak on Mozzie's relationship with Cedric, but I'll say Mozzie has a relationship with Cedric that has prevented us from having issues with each other.